Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing really good. So today's lesson is about active passive voice. Many of you must have learned but still didn't get clarity. I'll try my best to do it here in this video. So let us first understand what active and passive are. If I give you this example, Rita cooks food, which means Rita khana pakati hai. But if I say the food is cooked, khana pakaya jata hai. Now in Hindi, we mostly use these sentences. कि किचन में खाना पकाया जा रहा है. The food is being cooked in the kitchen. मम्मा खाना बना रही है. Mom is cooking the food. So, this is how when in Hindi, we emphasize on what work is done. It is passive sentences. And when we emphasize on who does the work, it is active sentences. Alright, now let's get started with the lessons. Also, we need to understand that passives do not exist for these types. Number 1, future continuous tense. Number 2, present perfect continuous tense. Past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, and where direct object is not present. See, in some cases it can be formed, but things sometimes sounds unnatural. So, in grammar books, you will not find passives for these when direct object is not available. So let me give you one example here. If I say, she goes to the market. So you can't form passive of this, right? But if I say, she writes a letter, then passive can be formed. A letter is written by her. So this is the thing. Now let's do for the other tenses for which passives are available. Number 1, simple present tense. Now in the tenses chapters in your school times or college, wherever, or in the course that you took otherwise, this is the active formula that we mostly learned. That subject plus first form of verb plus ses plus object. When we turn this into passive voice, object takes the first place. तभी हम focus कर रहे हैं कि काम क्या किया जा रहा है. So when object takes the first place, the helping verb is mr. This is used, and then third form of verb, and then subject at the end if any. Now make sure, keep it a note that in passives, third form of verb is always used. Okay, passives and perfect, they both contain third form of verb. Now let's have an example. You can see here that I have categorized 3 things in the column: positive, negative, and interrogative. So let me form one sentence for you and you will get the clarity on your own. I write, okay, let me just make it small case. I write a letter. I write a letter. मैं letter लिखती हूँ. She completes her work. वो अपना work complete करती है. So, if I make the passive of this will become a letter is written by me. कि letter मेरे द्वारा लिखा जाता है. Work or her work, you can even say that, her work is completed by her. So her work is completed by her doesn't sound good, so its work is completed by her. Okay, if you just forcefully try to make this sentence, this can be one of them. Okay, let me give you one more example here. Rita waters the plant. Rita पौधों को, plants, let's say plants, Rita पौधों को पानी देती है. So the passive of this will become the plants are watered by Rita. Make sure R of Rita should be capitalized because this is a proper noun. Now if I try to turn these into negative, so this will be I do not write a letter. Means मैं letter नहीं लिखती हूँ. Now focus carefully. This is one thing noteworthy here. that not is always placed at third position. And the helping verb for the simple present is do here when you turn this into negative form. Now, the passive of this will be a letter is not written by me. ये letter मेरे द्वारा नहीं लिखा जा रहा है. See, a letter is the first here. This is subject, a letter. Now is helping verb here. This is at second position and not is at third position. Please note that not is always put at third position in whatever the sentence happens to you. Next is interrogative. When we convert a positive or a negative sentence into interrogative, helping verb always takes the first place. So do I write a letter? क्या मैं letter लिखती हूँ? With a question mark after it. If we convert this into passive, this becomes is a letter written by me? क्या letter मेरे द्वारा लिखा जाता है? Now see, in this case, do was the helping verb, so do took the first place when we are converting this into interrogative. But in the passive case, is the helping verb, so is took the first place when we are converting this into interrogative. I hope you can understand this. Okay, so three things to note here are, number one, passives always use third form of verb, right? Not is always placed at third place, at third position. Fine. And helping verb is placed first to form interrogatives. Okay, so they are placed at the first position to form these interrogatives. I hope this is easier now. So let's do with the simple past tense now. Now the formula in the active case is subject plus second form of verb plus object. Subject plus second form of verb plus object. When we convert this into passive, this becomes object plus was verb plus third form of verb plus subject. Let's have an example. I wrote a letter. मैंने एक letter लिखा, काम हुआ. Now this becomes a letter was written by me. Letter मेरे द्वारा लिखा गया. If we convert this into negative, now the helping verb used here is did. Okay, so this will become I did not write a letter. मैंने letter नहीं लिखा. And the passive will be a letter was not written by me. Letter मेरे द्वारा नहीं लिखा गया. I'm taking very simple examples, but you can just use the formula to make any sentence into passive or active, vice versa, as you feel like. Okay. Next is interrogative. So what should we do? We need to take the helping verb at the first place. So here it is did. Did I write a letter? क्या मैंने letter लिखा? And question mark. Now if I change this into interrogative negative, this will become did I not write a letter? क्या मैंने letter नहीं लिखा? Okay. And the passive of this will be, what's the helping verb here? Was. So was will take the first place, right? So was a letter written by me? क्या letter मेरे द्वारा लिखा गया? Question mark. Was a letter not written by me? क्या letter मेरे द्वारा नहीं लिखा गया? Is this becoming easier? You can try with different examples, okay? You can Google out the exercises and do some to get more clarity on active and passive voice, okay? Next is simple future tense. Now this is the formula. Subject plus will plus first form plus object for the active case. But for the passive case, it becomes object, which we always know that in the passive will take the first place. Object plus will be plus third form. Third form is always used in passive plus subject. Now, the positive one is I. Okay, let's make a different sentence now. Okay, not with I. Let's do it differently. She will do her homework tomorrow. Okay, she will do her homework tomorrow. The passive will be homework or her homework will be done by her tomorrow. उसका homework उसकी तरफ से किया जाएगा कल. Okay. All right. If we convert this one into negative, this becomes she will not do her homework. वो अपना homework. So the passive is the homework will not be done by her. Alright. Next is interrogative. If we convert this into interrogative, of course, will is going to take the first place. So will she do her homework? क्या वो अपना homework करेगी? Question mark after it. Okay. Will she not do her homework? क्या वो अपना homework नहीं करेगी? Okay. Now, the passive will be, of course, you guessed it right, the homework. Okay, sorry. Will the homework be done by her? Will the homework be done by her? Question mark. Will the homework not be done by her? That's an interrogative negative. Clear? That's too hard to type sometimes. Okay, next is present continuous tense. Now, this is the formula for the active one. Subject plus is MR plus third form plus first form ing plus object. When we convert this into passive, this becomes object plus is MR plus being plus third form plus subject. So the passive is object plus is MR plus being plus third form of verb plus subject. Now this ing in the being shows that it is continuous. This third form shows that it is in passive, and is MR here shows that it is in present case. So let's have one example here. Rita is watering the plants. रीता पौधों को पानी दे रही है. The plants are being watered by Rita. Plants को रीता के द्वारा पानी दिया जा रहा है या plants को पानी दिया जा रहा है. So see the use of are here because plants, this is a plural word now. So are will be used. If it is singular, then is used. If that's I, then am is used. Okay, let me give one example here to use am in the passive side. She is giving me a pen. She is giving me a pen. Okay, so when you convert this into passive, this becomes a pen. A pen is being given to me by her, or you can also form this way. I am being given a pen by her. So there are two ways of making it. Now in negative, Rita is not watering the plant. Rita is not watering the plants. So the passive will become the plants are not being watered by Rita. If you don't put by Rita, then also it's fine because we just want to say कि पौधों को पानी दिया जा रहा है, right? So the plants are being watered. The plants are not being watered. पौधों को पानी नहीं दिया जा रहा है. Okay. Now the interrogative is, of course, in interrogative now the helping verb will take the first place. So here it is. Is Rita watering the plants. क्या रीता पौधों को पानी दे रही है? Is Rita not watering the plants? क्या रीता पौधों को पानी नहीं दे रही है? Question mark. Make sure question mark should be put when you are making this into interrogative. Now the passive would be the plants. See, the passive one here is the plants are being watered by Rita. So it should become, are the plants being watered by Rita? क्या plants को पानी दिया जा रहा है रीता के द्वारा? और are the plants not being watered by Rita? क्या पौधों को पानी नहीं दिया जा रहा है? Clear? Pause wherever you feel like you are having the doubt. You can even comment below and ask the passives of few sentences. Okay. So next is past continuous tense. Now here, instead of, see, in the simple present, the helping verbs were is, am, are, right? So the formula remains the same, just the helping verb changes. So in past continuous, it is was, were. Was, were. The formula remains the same. Subject plus was, were, first form of ing plus object. And in the passive, it is object plus was, were plus being plus third form of verb plus object. So I'm going to take the same sentence maybe, and let's see. What was the same sentence? Okay, it was Rita is watering the plants. Yeah, okay. So Rita was watering the plants, right? Rita पौधों को पानी दे रही थी. Rita was watering the plants. So it becomes the plants were being watered by Rita. कि पौधों को रीता के द्वारा पानी दिया जा रहा था. Okay. Negative will be Rita was not watering the plants. रीता पौधों को पानी नहीं दे रही थी. So the plants were not being watered by Rita. Okay, कि पौधों को पानी नहीं दिया जा रहा था. Okay, make sure continuous means कि कुछ समय में वो चल रहा था. Past means past के टाइम चल रहा था. अब के टाइम चल रहा है तो present continuous, चल रहा था तो past continuous. And the ing in ing with the use of verb, first form of verb, shows that something is continuing. Okay, so if we convert this into interrogative, of course the helping verb is going to take the first place. So this will become was Rita. Was Rita watering the plants? क्या रीता पौधों को पानी दे रही थी? Okay, question mark. Was Rita not watering the plants? क्या रीता पौधों को पानी नहीं दे रही थी? So when you convert this into interrogative, if I just copy this and paste it here, so you will see that this is the helping verb here, were. This were is the helping verb here. Okay, so if we just pick this verb, cut it, where is it going to be used? Here, in the very first place, to convert this whole into passives. So it will become, were the plants, okay, were the plants being watered by Rita? क्या पौधों को पानी दिया जा रहा था रीता के द्वारा? और were the plants not being watered by Rita? Okay, क्या पौधों को पानी नहीं दिया जा रहा था? Clear? Alright, now next one is present perfect tense. As I told you in the very starting that passives are not available for future continuous tense. Okay? Alright, so let us learn about present perfect tense now. Now the formula for present perfect tense is subject plus has have third form of verb plus object, and the passive is object plus has have been plus third form of verb plus object. Now the question arises when we use present perfect tense. इसको हम यूज करते हैं ये कहने के लिए कि कोई काम अब तक, till now, अब तक हो चुका है. Okay? For example, I visited Amritsar. मैंने अमृतसर विजिट किया, बट इफ आई से आई हैव विजिटेड अमृतसर, मैं अमृतसर विजिट कर चुकी हूँ. सो कभी भी किया हो. There's a difference between this simple past and the present perfect tense that I just made. I visited Amritsar and I have visited Amritsar. The difference is when you talk about something happened in the past, then you use simple present. But when you talk about something which has happened till now, see the sentence has happened till now, then we use present perfect tense. So let's take one example. She has written a letter. उसने एक लेटर लिख लिया है. A letter has been written by her. Okay. Now, if I say, let me use have here. They have played football. उन्होंने फुटबॉल खेल ली है. So football, which is singular, has been played by them. Make sure when the subject or the object which you take at the first place is singular, you use has. When it is plural, you use have. So have is used with they, but has is used with the single items like the football or a letter or she. Okay, not for the negative sense. She has written a letter will become she has not written a letter, for sure, because we have understood so far that not is placed at the third position. She has not written a letter. And the passive will be letter has not been written by her. A letter has not been written by her. The interrogative is, has she written a letter? क्या लेटर उसने लिख लिया है? क्वेश्चन मार्क. Has she not written a letter? क्या उसने लेटर नहीं लिखा? So this will become a letter has, okay, sorry, we're making the interrogative, right? So has a letter been written by her? Or has a letter not been written by her? Okay, question mark. Now this has have helping verbs take the first place. Okay, next is past perfect tense. It's just like this present perfect tense. The thing is that you're just going to put had at that position, but you really need to understand why we are using this. Okay, past perfect tense is used to say that something had been happened before something else happened in the past. For example, उसके आने से पहले मैंने लेटर लिख लिया था. So I had written a letter before she came. Before she came. उसके आने से पहले मैंने लेटर लिख लिया था. उन्होंने फुटबॉल खेल ली थी. They had played football. Okay, so everything else remains same. It's just that the helping verb changes. Okay, कोई काम किसी काम से पहले जब हो चुका हो उस टाइम हम लगाते हैं had third form to say past perfect tense. Okay, so I'm just converting all this into had. Okay, if you guys are good at understanding, you can even understand this thing. I don't have to make these sentences twice. Okay, I think just copy pasting and making it clear with just the replacing of has have with had. Okay, so let's get to future perfect tense now. Okay, now in case of future perfect tense, we need to use will have at the place of helping verb. So instead of had that we used in past perfect tense or has have that we used in present perfect tense, we are just using will have. Now we need to understand what's the use of future perfect tense. Now future perfect tense is used when we say that something will have happened in the future. कोई चीज जो future में हो चुकी हो. If I say I will have reached Delhi by tomorrow or you can say by this evening. I will have reached Delhi by tomorrow. मैं कल तक दिल्ली पहुंच चुकी होंगी. Okay. See, the passive verb this is not available. I can try it, but the thing is that sounds unnatural. If I say Delhi will have been reached by me by tomorrow. So, if we never even do this in spoken English, then why are we just conforming them and forcefully trying to convert this into passive when it's not even used? Okay. So let's not touch it. Okay. Let's have another sentence. I will have cooked food before you come. तो आपके आने से पहले मैं खाना पका चुकी होंगी. So the food will have been cooked by me before you came. See, this before you came will remain intact. We are not going to touch this one because this is not the main part of the main sentence. This is the main sentence that we need to convert into passive. So the food will have been cooked by me. Okay, will have been, third form. Okay. Now the negative. I will have cooked food will become I will not have cooked food. I will not have cooked food before you come. Right? Rest you can copy. The food will not have been cooked. The food will not have been. The food will not have been cooked. Right? The interrogative. Will I cook the food? Will I cook the food before you come? Or will I not cook the food before you come? The passive will become the food. Okay, sorry, we are converting this into interrogative. So active verb takes the first place. Will the food be? Okay. The food have been. Speaking is easier, writing sometimes, and that too typing becomes harder sometimes. Will the food have been cooked by me? Okay, or will the food have not been cooked by me? Will is the first, the food second, not. Will the food not have been cooked by me? Right? Now I hope you are getting this. So this is how future perfect tense and all the other tense forms must be made active to passive. And this was all about this. So thank you for watching this video.